Welcome, welcome to our December rest and relaxation session. My name is Shelly Maxwell, and I'm a counselor with the Wisconsin Ascension EAP program. I'm here in Oshkosh, where I see clients both virtually and in my office, and I'm also a registered yoga teacher, and I teach here in town. And these R&R sessions, we've been able to keep going for the last 2 or 3 years. You can find the previous recordings on our YouTube channel. If you enter in the YouTube search Ascension Wisconsin EAP, you will find all our presentations, as well as the playlist of all the R&R sessions. So I am joined by my colleague Erin, and she helps with recording the sessions, getting them up online. And if you've got any issues, feel free to uh, chat in the box and we can try to help problem solve. Just a reminder, we do these sessions the first Wednesday of every month from 12 to 12:30. The link to these is always the same, so feel free to add it to your calendar. And next month, it's going to be bumped out a week to January 8th because New Year's lands on the first Wednesday of the month. So let's get started. Uh, this past week, it feels like ages ago for me with Thanksgiving. I think the turn in the weather, getting the house set up for Christmas, I just feel like Thanksgiving was so long ago. But there was a couple of things that really stood out to me that I really wanted to share today. And part of it is just all the ways that we can uh, in some ways celebrate gratitude, right? Last month we talked about how do we practice gratitude during tough times? Because Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, Diwali, there's all the different religious traditions, even winter solstice, you know, there's partly the celebration of light overcoming the darkness, which we really need to be reminded of with the days so short right now, and for the coming month. Uh, but there is a sense of, as we're going into these dark days, we're celebrating the light, and we're not just being grateful, but we're celebrating abundance. And so I thought maybe today we could reflect a bit on abundance. And what I mean by abundance, this is how it came out at my Thanksgiving table on Thursday. So my son decided to come home from school in Detroit, uh, which was very kind of last minute. So that was super exciting. The kid's dad, who usually has them on Thanksgiving, he was out of town, which meant I was going to have the kids for Thanksgiving, which is sometimes a rare occurrence. So that was cool. We'd done Thanksgiving with my significant other's mom up north the weekend before, so we did the whole turkey thing. So I was able to say to everybody, like, what do you want? We don't have to do like the turkey again. And they were all three of them. They want steak. So I was like, all right. So my partner grilled steak and we did a lot of our other favorite foods. And we were sitting down and the day had been so easy. I've got a 16 and a 20-year-old. It's easy at age. And I don't think there's been a time where I've been that relaxed sitting down at a holiday meal. And all I could think of was, this is freaking awesome. Like, just this moment is freaking awesome. And I was curious. I wanted to know what was freaking awesome in their lives. So instead of talking about gratitude, I was like, what's awesome in your lives? Like, I am just all of a sudden really aware of what's awesome in my life. And I'm just curious, like, what's awesome? And they just started rattling it off. We had so much fun. And I wanted to share that with you, because abundance and what's freaking awesome, it doesn't always have to be about things, right? Like, moving into the winter months and knowing our stores were full, 200 years ago with the preserved meats and preserves, veggies, right? Gave us a sense of safety and security. Well, now a lot is at our fingertips. But there's still that sense of abundance, right? That we're sharing food wise. The December holidays, it's a lot of gift giving, right? And hopefully recognizing how we are receiving. And freaking awesomeness is what's filling to you? What just gives you a deeper sense of security, of enjoyment, right? It's not related to things. It could be connections, right? So, I mean, one of the things that is freaking awesome is this Rishi tea that I adore. I just bought like two massive bags on their Black Friday sale. That's freaking awesome. So that's a thing. But it's not so much the thing of the tea. It's like the way it smells, the way it tastes. It just is so freaking awesome. So, if you get my drift. So, I share this image of the cornucopia, but recognizing the fruits, the veggies are symbolic to what is fruitful and freaking awesome in your life. And so take a moment here as you settle into your chair, settle into your space. And if ideas are already starting to flow for you of what's freaking awesome, go with it. But I want you to come to a deeper sense of quiet and stillness. So you feel free to close your eyes. Let the weight of your body just drop into the chair, into the floor. Release the shoulders and almost drink in or savor the energy or that the sensation that's created when you reflect on the awesomeness. And again, like I said last month, awesomeness, gratitude does not minimize whatever pain or difficulties are going in our life, right? There's certainly, we could write probably a list of suckiness, but we can have both and at the same time. Okay, we can have sadness and joy. We can have stress and relaxation. They are not exclusive to each other. We need to create space for both to exist. Okay, so when we're thinking of awesomeness, we're not, I by no means want to minimize the suckiness that might be happening too. But we have to, for our mental health, for ourselves, find the awesomeness. Okay. So close your eyes if you haven't already and sink into awesomeness. And as you reflect on the awesomeness, notice what is starting to shift in your body. What's starting to shift in your physical body. How is the mind shifting? Are there are there shifts in your thinking? Maybe is it slowing down a bit? Is it getting a little bit more focused and feeling less scattered? And I encourage you when you're thinking of the awesomeness, don't necessarily play out the memories or the narratives because that can be hooks for suckiness too. Just stay at the surface with it and focus on the physical sensations, the mental sensations of just like touching on, the awesomeness of certain things in the past year. And now start to bring awareness to shifts that are happening in your breath. We're looking for the breath to start to become more deep. So the inhale is deeper, the exhale is longer. Not necessarily like it has to be longer than the inhale. It's just that the inhale is longer too, but we sense that deepness, right? It coming deeper into the body, and therefore the exhale becomes longer. you might notice the transition between the inhale and the exhale becoming more smooth and even. You're also going to start to notice maybe the areas of the body that respond to the breath, the fullness of the breath, your side ribs and how they expand and create more space between each rib, right? And then that constriction. So on your inhale, you expand out through the side body, the side ribs. And on the exhale, the ribs float back down. And you notice a bit of constriction in the navel center as it hugs in really gently. And then with the inhale, that ballooning effect. Yeah, and release it. Let's take another deep breath and making sure to release the jaw, the shoulders, anything that might have created some tension in the last couple of minutes. Release it out with the exhale. And then come back to stillness, come back to your natural cadence of breath. And maybe find if there's some awesomeness in how you feel right now. I think it is freaking awesome that our breath is completely free. We don't have to pay a subscription to it. We don't have to, schedule it. It's available to us 24/7, and how quickly it can shift for us if we stay intentional with it, right? And gratitude has to be intentional. Awesomeness and identifying that in each moment throughout our day is an intention. But when we take that intention, it expands, it multiplies, right? So how freaking awesome is that? What good in our world expands with our intention? Gardens, but they take months. This is like instant gratification. Freaking awesome. Okay. So let's soften the body a little bit more. And I have a freaking awesome exercise I'm going to teach you that you can do anywhere that helps to soften the body. So let's take a moment here to reposition in our seat because you're going to be lifting your legs, your arms off a bit. Okay, so I'm going to guide you through a systematic, well, actually, no, progressive muscle relaxation. Okay, so in counseling, this is something I often prescribe to my clients when they're in acute stress. We've got so many videos on apps and YouTube where you could do it from like 5 minutes to no more than 10, but it's a great way to right before bed or when you're transitioning between a work and home life to one, release the muscle tension and all that cortisol that gets built up in your muscle fibers. Cortisol doesn't just mess up our neurotransmitters like our serotonin, dopamine, and melatonin by coating them, and then they're not functioning as well. Cortisol, it creates inflammation in your body over time, but it gets stored in our muscle tissues, and then we feel that physical agitation. So progressive muscle relaxation is great for that. It also it's a grounding and deep breathing practice. So you're getting flooded with endorphins. So if you're doing it before bed and you're laying in bed, in your jammies and you press play to a recording you found that you really like, you're getting a lovely endorphin bath and it just primes you for a much better sleep. And you can even do a self-guided practice. I personally love listening to someone as a mom and having decision fatigue and just tired of telling people what to do. I hate to say it that way, but it's the truth. Suggesting, delegating, right? I just want to be told what to do sometimes. It would be so nice. So this one we're going to do in our chairs because it's freaking awesome that we don't have to just lay down, but I encourage you to find times to do this before bed. But in your office, in the moment when you are feeling pretty dysregulated. Let's say like green zone is really good, yellow zone's agitated, red zone is seeing red. You're going into the yellow zone. Take a couple of moments, to do this. And especially if the grounding and the deep breathing is challenging, see if you can do the progressive muscle relaxation and then come back to the grounding and deep breathing. And you'll notice it's much easier. Okay. So I'm going to scoot back and I am going to stop sharing so you can see me a little bit better. And I'm moving my arm. I've got movable arms, so that's the sound you might have just heard. And what I'd like you to do is lift your right leg, okay? And just hover it off the floor. Keep your knees straight, not super locked, but it's going to have to really work here. And curl your toes. Squeeze the foot. And now engage the area around the lower leg. Squeeze it. Now, notice the core. The core is going to start to engage, but try to keep the action in the leg, the knees, the upper thigh. You might even try to lift the thigh off the chair. Now you feel the glutes engage. And we're going to go out the way we came in. So soften the glutes, the hips, the upper leg, the knee, the lower leg, the ankle, the foot, and now uncurl the toes. Take a nice deep breath in. And on your exhale, slowly with the exhale, lower the foot to the floor. Now take a moment to pause, close your eyes, and notice the difference. Find the awesomeness. Good. Now we're going to do the left leg. So lift it, flex that foot, and let's tense the foot, curl the toes. Curl them, curl them. Now start to work up the leg, the lower leg, around the ankle, the calf, the shin, the knee, moving further up the thigh, the quads. See how high up into the upper leg you can go, the groin, maybe up to the glutes. Hold it. Squeeze a little bit deeper, maybe lift above the chair. And now come out the way you came in. So releasing first the upper leg, the knee, the calf, the foot, and uncurl the toes. Take a nice deep breath in and match your exhale to lowering the foot. So when you come to the bottom of the exhale, the foot finds the floor. Good. Close your eyes. Sink into the awesomeness of the lower body. Breathe. And now let's work with the torso. So we're going to engage those glutes again, the hip flexors, that whole lower area around the pelvis. You might pull in through the pelvis, through the pelvic floor, pull it up. Engage the lower abdominals. Hug the navel center into the spine. Good. And now we're going to come out. So releasing the navel center, releasing the pelvic floor, releasing the glutes. Close your eyes. Feel the sensations of those movements. Feel the energy that's getting created here. The circulation, you might feel a little bubbly. That's the blood flow. Good. Now let's move up into the upper chest. So engaging the upper abdominals. So you're going to hug that navel center in, but focus on the upper abdominals, like you can pull them up into your rib cage. Now tense the area around your collarbones, around the heart center, the shoulders engage. Now engage the back, between the shoulder blades. Hug them in. Hug them in a little bit more. Really tense them, tense them, tense them. And then we're going to come out. So releasing the shoulder blades, releasing the shoulders, the heart center, and now release the upper abdominals. Close your eyes. Breathe. What feels fantastic right now? Good. Now let's do the right arm. So we're going to lift that arm. You're going to take your hands and curl the fingers in, clench the fist, flex the wrist, and now engage the lower arm. Yep, the area around the elbow. You're going to engage your upper arm, Good. So hug it in, hug it in, hug that arm into the shoulder socket. And then we're going to come out the way we came in. So releasing the shoulder, the upper arm, the elbow, the lower arm, release the wrist, and then slowly unfurl the fingers. Take a deep breath in, reaching the arm forward. And on your exhale, let the exhale match the movement of the arm, the hand coming back to your lap. Splendid. Close your eyes if you haven't already. Breathe and feel the awesomeness. Okay, the left arm, lift it up. Press the palm forward, curl the fingers in, flex the wrist a little bit more. Really squeeze that palm, squeeze the fingers in, engage, 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 and then move up the arm, the wrist, the lower arm, the elbow, the upper arm. Hug the arm into the shoulder socket. Yes. And now start to relax the shoulder, the upper arm, the elbow, the lower arm, the wrist. Be intentional here with the hand. Slowly unfurl the fingers, pressing that palm in. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, float it down. Good. Now this one, you can always, I'm going to be vulnerable with you all because it's ideal, right? We can have, you guys have your cameras off, but, and I'm just going to make sure everybody has their cameras off. Let's see. Yeah. But I'm going to keep my camera on. So let's do this with the face. Okay, this is the last part of progressive muscle relaxation. So what you're going to do is close your eyes and squeeze them, squeeze them. Okay, so squeeze the eyes, squeeze the forehead, and then you're going to squeeze the mouth, pucker it up, bring it to your nose. Okay. Now you're going to feel your ears engage a bit, your scalp. So keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. And then when you're ready to come out, release the scalp, release the lips, release the forehead and the eyes, and just completely sink to the back of your chair. Just rest in a mini shavasana here. And breathe. What are you feeling right now? Where is the fantastic sensations and all that goodness? Good. Now let's come back. We're just going to do a few more movements here. So I'm going to scoot back to the top of my chair and we're going to bring our hands and float them up on our inhale. Exhale, float them down. And try to go in your body right now, really being aware as you're inhaling, the arms reflect the movement of the energy up with the inhale. Exhale, float them down. You're rooting through the sits bones here and trying to lengthen the spine, even through the back of the neck. So the chin is tucked as if you're pressing the back of the head towards a headrest. One more time. Good. On your inhale, sweep the arms up and clasp the hands, press the palms to the ceiling, engage the navel center. When you come to the top of the inhale, transition to the exhale and float the arms down. When you're ready to inhale, and it might be a different pace from me, on your inhale, you float up, and we're going to really root through the sits bones and twist to the left. Reach up through that right arm. And on your exhale, come back to center and float down. One more time, and we're going to twist to the right. Inhale up. Twisting to the right. Lengthen through that left arm. Keep that side, both side bodies long. And when you're ready to exhale, come back to center and float the arms down. On your next inhale, lift the left arm up and over. So the bicep comes by the ear. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen as far as you go while grounding that left hip and sits bone. And then on the exhale, bring it down. Switch arms. Your inhale, move that arm up and over, grounding through the sits bone. Yes. And on your exhale, bring it back down. There's something about the mind body breath connection that when we bring our breath into our movements, the mind gets centered on that. And we experience a whole nother level of rest and rejuvenation. Good. Let's hug that right knee in, rotate the ankle, reverse direction. And now lengthen that right leg out. And then bring the leg down, the foot down, hug the left knee in, point and flex the foot, rotate the ankle. Again, it's amazing how these little movements can make such a difference during your workday. Lengthen that left leg out in front of you and float it back down. And let's do a couple of cat cows. So inhale, bring the heart center forward, the shoulders press back, squeeze between the shoulder blades. And on your exhale, bring the shoulders towards each other, round, tuck the chin, and hug that navel center. And you're going to feel the pelvis tip forward. And move with your breath. Inhale. This is cow. Bring it forward, squeeze between the shoulder blades, the tailbone comes out, and then inhale, come into your cat. Press the back of the spine to the wall behind you. Hug that navel center in, tuck the chin. And then come back to center. Now scoot back in your chair if you're not already, and just slump. Let the legs come out, let them be wide. The arms splay open, whether they rest on the armrests or just hang down beside you. Maybe bring the palms forward if they're hanging down beside you, and let the head rest. So if you've got a headrest, you can lay your head back, or if that's not really helpful, you can tuck the chin and just let the head hang and close your eyes. And just like at the beginning, when we were focusing on our breath, bring awareness to the breath. Notice the body moving with the breath. Bring awareness to how the sensations in the body now, how do they compare to the sensations right before you signed in and before you started this practice? And staying here another moment, maybe think of a way that you can bring a sense of awesomeness. How can you be intentional with it throughout your day, and not just this holiday season, but every day. And that awesomeness, that abundance becomes an inner light that really helps with these dark days, the dark moments. There's abundance in the air that we breathe, the nutrients. There's abundance in the food that we eat and the way they nourish and fuel our bodies. There's abundance in the love that is expressed through our connections with nature, with people, animals, right? And so I just encourage you to be intentional so that you can really enjoy these couple of months. So with that, let's share our poem. So, a journey. To live an abundant life, we must allow love to touch all the parts of our existence, where joy and purpose flourish, calling us home to ourselves. Live an abundant life, we must allow love to touch all the parts of our existence where joy and purpose flourish, calling us home to ourselves. And isn't it amazing that this connection with ourselves can just create such a sense of security and contentment and awesomeness, abundance? So, with that, I wish you a very joyous season full of light, full of love. And you can call us if you want more information or would like to meet with someone for counseling or consultation. You can email us as well, and that info is in the upper left hand of your screen. Again, you can find these recordings on our YouTube channel along with all our other presentations. And if you're collecting wellness points through your organization, the keyword for today is abundance. So just a reminder that we'll be meeting together next month on January 8th, and we hope you can schedule that time and carve it out. It's worth doing. All right, well, be well.